I was sore just watching it. Canterbury put on, I think, one of the best exhibitions of running rugby league I've seen this season to decimate Illawarra, and then that scoreline of 25-0 that I mentioned. They led 12-0 at the break and played some astonishing football in the second half, which had the 9,000 spectators buzzing with their return to the entertaining style that they'd used in the past. Now, Canterbury forwards were magnificent, keeping a steady flow of good possession to their backs who relished the dominance, and I think that is the way it went. It was the forwards who laid the foundation with this sort of thing, going forward, offloading one-handed passes, and Potter had a blinder, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Well, Potter was just tracking Paul Dunner all day, and he was picking up those onloads and making plenty of yards on him.
Now, this try by Kelly, I mean, that was a bit of a heartbreaker because he was 15 yards out when he received the ball and goes through 4 tackles to break it.
Yeah, he played very strong for his first game back after 4 weeks.
And he was still going pretty strong in the second half too. That's a try to Peter Mortimer out wide. Yes, he was still going strong in the second half. We expected him to have, you know, probably lain down a bit.
Yeah, well, actually, we thought that maybe there might have been a weakness there, him not playing for 4 weeks, but, gee, he really he curtailed that opinion.
I've got a big amount of time for this young Paul Dunn. I mean, his ball skills are legion now. Sometimes he just looks a little bit ponderous, but I think that's something that can be probably rectified by... that's an awful try. We'll go into that in a minute, but I think it's something that can be rectified by sprint training if he's not done any. But this fellow, getting back to Potter, he ran all over the field. I logged during looking at the full tape of the game. There were 9 times he ran over 30 yards.
Yeah, well, that's right. He's a very elusive player, and you know, getting back to their forwards did make the yards and steamrollers and got us running backwards, and in turn an elusive runner who gets the ball on the boil, well, it makes it awfully hard for our defence, and that's what happened with Potter. And
Steve Mortimer and Lamb were very good players. Lamb, with his usual go of backing up on the inside, he's back up anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a tremendous backer-up of supports, and with the breaks they were making, I tell you what, Lamb was capitalising on it.
Well, Illawarra didn't lay down at any stage. There was no apparent sort of relinquishing of the responsibility by any of the Illawarra players. Everyone tried their hardest right to the end. Yeah,
well, that just confirms the character of what's in our side, and especially with the backing up of our game yesterday, it just shows the enthusiasm what the club has.
OK, a couple of things out of the game. I'd like to show you just a few items with Peter Kelly in. Firstly, the try that he scored. Now, he got the ball 15 metres out. You can see the defences come to him. There are 3 of them still holding him, but he still manages to force himself through. This sort of epitomises his style. He's just knocked Peter Smith totally out of the way. Now, he's slowed down, of course, but he still manages another 5 yards after that.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, Peter Smith went in that incident, went in for a big hit, and it just didn't work out that way. I think maybe round the legs first up would have been the answer.
Well, I think with a bloke of his strength and power, anything up top is fatal. That's my view. But, of course, they're trying to stop the ball getting away too, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah.
OK, so continuing on, that awful incident in which Larder can't take this Sterling kick, makes a real meal of it. But there's a nice little bit at the end. Potter, watch the top left-hand of your screen. Michael Potter, number 1, go over and pat Larder on the shoulder right there. And much as to say, I'm a fullback, you're a fullback, you've made a terrible blunder, I know how you feel.
Yeah, well, he probably has been in the same sort of similar incident as what Steve was then, and must have felt sorry for him.
Oh, well, I would have too. It was an awful blunder, and I didn't show it to send Larder up because, you know, God knows that sort of thing can happen any time. But I did it to show the nice little rapport between 2 fullbacks, separate teams, you know, and it's a nice little thing to see. The Potter run. And this is one of the many great runs that he had. This led to the O'Brien try out on the left, and you'd almost certainly expect a try after a break like that because the defence is still coming back on side, and if you can get the ball away from the ruck area quickly and clear it, which they did do, Bugden a good long pass out to Langmack, and Langmack just offloaded straight to O'Brien. That's just called your perfect league try, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. They made the break, controlled the ball, instead of Potter doing something silly and losing it and trying to score on his own. He's controlled it, and they put it out the back line and scored.
If you could only put old heads on young shoulders, it's always invariably some young bloke that tries to do something flamboyant in those situations.
Exactly, yeah. Someone gets a side or a sniff of the line, and they think that, oh, well, we're going to put the ball over, and they do something silly.
That's exactly right. OK, so that was a 25-0 loss.